Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 rebuild. And once again, one of my commenters has told me to rebuild the Carolina Panthers, but I'm going to add a twist to it. I'm going to add Lamar Jackson to the Carolina Panthers just because he's rumored to go everywhere, dude. All of the NFC South, the Jets, you name it, he's going somewhere. And the Ravens, as a Ravens fan, I most likely don't think Lamar Jackson is going to come back. We offered him $50 million a year for 3 years and guaranteed $133 million out of $150 million. So $133 million out of $150, and he still said no. What, does that extra guaranteed $17 million, is it a requirement? And at this point, if you want so much guaranteed money, why don't you just pay him $40 million a year, all guaranteed for 3 years? Would he not be happy with that? Why is that such a big deal? I would say pay him like 35 to 40 million a year and guarantee it for 3 years. Don't long-term commit. I don't think anyone should long-term commit to a QB, a running QB, because people like Cam Newton, RG3, even Kyler Murray, you're starting to see it now. Mobile QBs just don't last because they get hit too often. But we'll see that in this new generation. Maybe I'm wrong about it, but we're going to see it in this rebuild today. So this is what we got for the overlook of the team. DJ Moore, there's been trade rumors about him. I think that's total bullshit. Why would you'd be in a rebuild phase and you're trading away one of your youngest and best, easily your best offensive player on the team? Makes no sense. Tommy Tremble, I am going to move to the starter. Laviska Shenault, maybe I need a new third. Ike Ekwonu is going to be great. It was honestly a really smart move by the Panthers to pick Ike Ekwonu over Malik Willis. People saying Malik Willis is going to be so good this year. I really didn't like the QB class this year. It was really not that good, and everyone was overhyping him. I don't know why Brian Burns does not have X Factor. Not going to give it to him. Same thing with Derek Brown. Why does he not have Superstar? Dante Jackson, CJ Henderson, JC Horn. Why is he only an 81 overall without the morale down? That makes no sense. JC Horn had an absolute baller year. Matter of fact, I'm going to give him Superstar Dev. If you want to cry about it in the comments, you can. He was a top 5, if not a top 3 defensive back this year. Go look at his stats. Dude was crazy this year. Nobody talked about him enough, and he got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. And then the rest of the team, Shaq Thompson, he is good in simulation. He's really good. But this contract sucks, dude. $24 million, so I'll just ride it out on his final year, I guess. $24 million for 1 year is pretty garbage, but 2022 retirements, let's see what we got for the NFC South as Julio Jones retires on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That will probably happen. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we're going to have. As Deontay Foreman doesn't want to come back, Eddie Pinheiro doesn't want to come back, Matthew Ioannidis doesn't want to come back. Yeah, nobody wants to be here. Kind of expected that. Sam Darnold could most definitely walk. Everyone else here can just walk. Don't care about anyone there. So how much money do we have? We have $68 million. Let's get to free agency. So this trade will not go through unless I forcefully make Lamar Jackson a punter and force this trade. First round pick this year, second round pick this year, and a first round pick next year. That is the most value I am allowed to offer in Madden. Sorry guys, that's just the way it is. EA only allows you to get 3 trade slots, but Lamar Jackson is now a Carolina Panther. We have Lamar Villas here, and yes, he's wearing Cam Newton's number. I don't care. He's going to be our next Cam Newton on this team. Hopefully, he can bring us to a Super Bowl, but actually win the Super Bowl. You better hope he wins a league MVP too. Lamar Jackson, your official Carolina Panther. After free agency, I got Damian Harris and Denzel Perryman on some pretty reasonable deals, but nobody really wanted to play for the team until we had our franchise QB. Now we do. Let's move into the draft. In the 4th round, yes, in the 4th round is our first pick. We're picking up a local player, Cedric Gray, out of North Carolina. Normal dev, 85 speed, though. He has good skills. He's a decent athlete. I like him. Now, this is the team after the draft. I do want Tommy Tremble starting over Ian Thomas. So let's put Chuba Hubbard as the fullback. And yeah, the team is looking all right. The offense could definitely use some interior help on that line, and maybe a better running back than Damian Harris because he's not great in simulation. And I still think Laviska Shenault is more of a slot player, and then we still need a wide receiver too. Defensively looking into it, Denzel Perryman's going to suffice just fine for a little bit, and Brian Burns and Yetur Gross-Matos are going to do great. J.C. Horn and Jeremy Chin as well. Terrence Marshall. Yetur Gross-Matos, I would like to be my rush right end over Frankie Louvu, so I would rather have that. And apart from that, guys, it's now time to move into the first season with Lamar Jackson. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 4-2, top of the division. We have a breakout linebacker. Is it Denzel Perryman? No, it is Frankie Louvu. Don't really want to see that. I don't really care. I'm honestly going to skip out on the challenge because he's like 27, and I don't have any intention of re-signing him. Coming off a win to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we need to get Lamar Jackson more weapons because that's his problem in Baltimore. So I'm going to give him another receiver, even though he does need interior offensive line some more, like kind of how he does in Baltimore a little bit. But still, we got some players ready to negotiate here. Lamar Jackson doesn't want to be here. Don't care. We're going to give you player friendly for now and see how you do. He wants a bigger contract. We're going to have to give it to him. He's Lamar Jackson. We just traded for him. Brian Burns, want to give him that 5-year deal. And no negotiations right now. Okay, I guess we'll have to do it in the offseason. Derek Brown, of course I want you back. And okay, he wants more. Okay. Shaq Thompson, this is not $24 million a year, but I also don't want to pay you this much. So I'm going to trade Shaq Thompson. Trading away a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for Shaq Thompson to the Bears. And these are high picks, pick 35 and pick 67 projected. Because remember, we don't have a 1st round pick because of Lamar Jackson. So this will have to suffice. Jeremy Chin on the renegotiations. He's going to want a lot of money. I'll give him player friendly and see how he does with that. And he wants even more money. Everyone's just going to want money. Frankie Louvu can walk. He's about to be 27. I don't want him. Laviska Shenault. It depends how much he wants. This really doesn't look like that much. But CJ Henderson, I'll overpay for him because he's only a 76 overall. So it really won't be that much. Same thing with the Yetur Gross-Matos. Nobody wants to play here. Like, what's the reasoning for that? Is it just like the no income tax? Scheme fit, historic champions, and no income tax is what they want. It's always the no income tax. I mean, I would want no income tax if I was playing too. Here we are in the playoffs, year 1 with Lamar Jackson taking the division, which isn't really saying that much. 10-7, top of the division, coming off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Stats and awards, let's see what we have for Lamar Jackson as he did. He did pretty good. He did, not insane, but 17th best offense in the NFL and 11th best defense. 4,600 yards, 33 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Damian Harris, 11 touchdowns, 3.8 per carry, 1,100 yards. Laviska Shenault, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 7 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. He should have more than that. Tommy Tremble with 101 receptions, though. Looking at it defensively, Denzel Perryman with 127 tackles for a loss, 16 for Brian Burns. Sacks, 20.5 for Brian Burns. That's an X factor. Interceptions, 3 for J.C. Horn, and safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So, anyways, guys, let's see if we can beat the Green Bay Packers, who are 10-7, to move on to the divisional round with Lamar Jackson and the Panthers. And we do. 35-17 here to face the 9-8 Philadelphia Eagles, who are crazy in simulation, as they should be, but they're only 9-8. And we do beat them. 34-28 here to face the San Francisco 49ers in the conference championship. This is further than Lamar got with the Ravens. Unfortunately, I had to say that as a Ravens fan. But let's move into it. Here we are at Levi's Stadium, 3-0 start. Oh, now 7-0 start. Good stuff. 7-10 in the second quarter, winding down to halftime. And it is going to be 14-10 at halftime as we have the lead. 17-10, 24-10, like that 2-score lead, 1-score lead now. 27-17, 2-score lead, 1-score lead. Let's go. 2-score lead. That's going to be wraps. Yep, 30-20, and we're going to the Super Bowl in 1 year with Lamar Jackson. That's all it takes, and let's move into it. And here we are in year 1, here to face the 13-4 Kansas City Chiefs. This might be a challenge in year 1 with the team we have compared to the teams that Chiefs has. Tommy Tremble, 101 receptions, gets superstar dev. Love to see that. Looking at it defensively, we have Brian Burns with an X factor. That's no surprise. And Frankie Louvu gets star dev. That's nice to see. Yeah, I bet Shaq Thompson is punched in the air right now. Had a Super Bowl winning team on his hands and then got traded to the Bears. Anyways, let's see if we can beat the Chiefs in year 1 in the Super Bowl. Here we are in Las Vegas to play the Super Bowl. 7-0 start, 14-0 starts. Yikes, not good for us. If we lose this, I'm not going to be surprised. The Chiefs do have a significantly better team. I just want to see a fight here. 7-14, we are putting up a fight. 7-14 at halftime. Defense is holding strong right now. 10-14, very defensive game right now. 17-14, 17-21. 24-21. Don't get my hopes up like this. Don't get my hopes up like this. Come on. Don't get my hopes up like this. Yeah, that's what I expected. Overtime, we lose 24-30. Very good game. Didn't expect us to win. The Chiefs are an overpowered team. Not mad at it. So anyways, it's now time to move into the offseason. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. Dak Prescott in real life will never win a league MVP. Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl MVP. My bad. I need to correct myself there. And there are no awards here for the Carolina Panthers. We've already seen the development upgrades, so let's move into the re-sign players. And in the NFC South, nobody retires. That's fine with me. And we are going to be looking at the players ready to negotiate. We just made it to the Super Bowl. People should be interested to play, and Brian Burns, I think, will be. And he re-signs. Good stuff. Lamar Jackson has interest now. That's huge that we waited on that contract. Derek Brown, I'll increase the bonus a little bit. And really, okay, I'll have to make sure that I tag him. Jeremy Chin as well. Lamar Jackson does want to be here. I previously gave him a player-friendly deal, but now that he wants to be here, I'm just going to give him the same deal. And he does re-sign. That's big. Need Jeremy Chin to sign. Frankie Louvu can walk. Laviska Shenault I do want. I'm going to quote-unquote overpay for this. This isn't even bad. I'll pay for that. No, he wants to play for a new team. Never mind. Bye. CJ Henderson, again, all player-friendly deal. Only $4 million a year. And what the hell, dude? Yetur Gross-Matos, be a reasonable human being. We just made it to the Super Bowl. Thank God. Oh, my God. And I'll tag Derek Brown in a second. Let's give a very player-friendly deal to Jeremy Chin. Passing out contracts, kind of like how your mom gets passed around. And since Derek Brown wants to be with the team, I'm going to tag Jeremy Chin and then snag Derek Brown back in free agency. Same thing with Laviska Shenault and CJ Henderson. I'll at least try to. So apart from that, guys, how much money do we have? We have $56 million to spend. Let's move into it. After free agency, we got Derek Brown back on a cheaper deal than what I originally offered him. Thank you, EA, for your flawless game making. I got Brandon Ayuk, better addition than Laviska Shenault, Micah Hyde as a temporary one-year player, and Isaiah Rodgers, who is a better player and similar contract to what I would have given CJ Henderson. Same age, same development, just a whole 2 overalls higher. So I like that, and it is now time to move into the draft. In the second round, because we don't have a first-round pick, Tyren Harris, halfback out of Memphis, 94 speed, hidden development. He looks like a great athlete. Skills doesn't look insane, but I saw his athleticism. Really, really liked him. In the third round, I'm picking up center George Phillips out of Florida, 92 strength in the third round, hidden development, 6'3", 310. He looks great, especially for a third-round pickup. These skills are crazy. Here we are after the draft. Phillips is a 74 overall with the boost. Harris is a, I like Harris. Harris is 74 overall. We have 2 Harrises now. I don't know if I like that. T Harris and D Harris. DT Harris, baby. Yeah, Malone, I'm going to start him as the slot as well. And yeah, I'll have Harris just start for the first season. Defensively, though, we look all right. Nothing crazy. Gray. Cedric Gray was a guy that I picked last season, and I think I'm just going to move him to left outside linebacker. You know, maybe he could get a development upgrade. Who knows? So he's going to play there for now. Come on, play your position that I put. Okay, EA loves doing things called not doing what I tell them to do because EA is so great at making games. But sarcasm aside, the Dead Space game that they just made is fucking crazy. Go download that. Yes, I'm promoting an EA product. Don't care. It was crazy. The defense looks crazy as well. Specialist, DJ Moore's. I don't like how DJ Moore's in the slot. Harris, we're going to move up so that way he can get more playing time. I don't want Xavier. Why is Xavier Woods even here? Can I just cut him? Yeah, I'm just going to cut Xavier Woods. That just may rearrange. Yeah, just rearranged my entire team, which is very infuriating how EA does that. But the rest of it should be good. Gray, I'm going to even have a sub linebacker just so that way he can get more reps in. And apart from that, guys, it is now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-4. It seems like Lamar is just letting us down. What the hell, Lamar? Just the entire team collapsed. We need Damian Harris needs to be the guy, is what it's saying. Damian Harris just has to be the starter for this team, and the entire team will collapse if he's not, is what the CPU is telling me. So we're going to do that. Man, EA, flawless. Yeah, that's what the Dead Space game was. Dead Space was flawless, baby. Never going to stop creaming over that. Anyways, scouting national focus. Do I need another receiver? Terrence Marshall really isn't that bad. Tommy Tremble was doing him good. What do I specifically need? Free safety? Linebacker, actually. I want middle linebackers, so that way I can acquire more outside linebackers. So I'll just take middle linebackers, move them to outside linebackers. It's better that way. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we're going to have here. As we have, I don't know who you are, Jeremy Chin. You know, never want to be here. Still a player-friendly deal. Dude, what the hell? Never wants to accept my offers. JC Horn. Player-friendly deal. There we go. Very player-friendly deal. Micah Hyde. I don't quite know yet, bud. We'll see. We'll see. Austin Corbett. I'll give you player-friendly deal. And he resigns. That's cool with me. I'm not going to give him very player-friendly. Dante Jackson. Just don't be picky. I'll give you a 3-year deal, and I'll increase the bonus. And he resigns with that. Good stuff. Micah Hyde. Johnny Hecker. Don't need you. Denzel Perryman. You're just regressing. This is actually stupid cheap. Never mind. That's dumb cheap. I'm taking that any day. Tommy Tremble doesn't want to be here. Player-friendly deal. Increase the bonus. And he resigns. Good stuff. And Chuba Hubbard can walk. Terrence Marshall can walk. This guy, it really isn't that bad, but I think I can get someone better in free agency, especially since we got a first-round pick. Jeremy Chin. I still need... Dude, he's being so picky for no reason. Anyways... Actually, let's see what he wants. Does he want like a mentor or something? Is that like, because if it is, that's a simple fix. What do you want? He wants no state income tax. Sorry, bud. Historic champions. We're not that. Playoff contender. I can't provide him anything he wants. Sorry, I can't. I'm sorry we don't have a historic championship. That's not something that was implied whenever I got here. Let's move to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 8-9, missing the playoffs. I mean, sure, our passing game increased, but I don't know what happened. The defense collapsed, the offense improved. Nice, guys. Good job. Stats and awards, Lamar Jackson did great in passing yards and passing touchdowns. 8th best offense in the NFL and 3rd best defense, yet we win 8-9. Thank you, EA, for your flawless game making. Almost 5,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Damian Harris, 16 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry. Should have started him from the season. DJ Moore, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. That could be an X factor. Tommy Tremble, another 100-yard reception season with 1,100 yards. That could be an X factor. Terrence Marshall, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Denzel Perryman, 116 tackles with Cedric Gray with 116 tackles as well, and he played half the season starting. Tackles for a loss, 17 for Derek Brown. Sacks, 13 for Derek Brown. Interceptions, 4 for Dante Jackson. Hold up. Brian Burns only had 6 sacks? That's false. Anyways, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So, anyways, guys, it is now time to move in to the offseason. And the Chargers beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. I think this is the first time I've ever seen the Chargers in Madden 23 win a Super Bowl simulation. I'm not kidding. It's very rare. And Brian Brees, defensive tackle for the Chargers, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Carolina Panthers, unfortunately. Got some rhymes, dimes, and chimes here. Let's see the players who are ready to upgrade, not negotiate. And DJ Moore gets X Factor. Tommy Tremble does not. Harris only has star dev. That's fine with me. Don't really care that much. Phillips only has star dev. Fine with me. Defensively looking into it, Gray gets star dev. That's exactly what I wanted. Derek Brown gets superstar dev. That's awesome as well. Like to see that. And apart from that, guys, it is now time to move into the re-sign players. Demario Davis and Cam Jordan both retire on the Saints. Probably their 2 best defensive players. Maybe people will argue Marshall and Lattimore. Players ready to negotiate, though. Jeremy Chin, dude, just very player-friendly deal. Let's increase the living shit out of the bonus, and you're getting paid $15 million a year. God, dude. Micah Hyde doesn't even want to play for us anymore because he wants to win a championship. Should have just locked him in. just lock him in forever. Everyone else don't really care about. They can all walk. How much money do we have for free agency? I'll try and pick up one player, but there's not really going to be that much worth. In free agency, I did snag one huge player, and that would be Javon Holland. I did have to pay for him a little bit extra because the Saints were going after him too, and I did not want our division rivals to have him. So let's move into the draft. So I am now trading back in the draft. I'm trading away pick 13 and swapping it for pick 24 with the Bills, and I'm also acquiring their 2nd round pick. And now that I traded back in the draft, I'm picking up our slot receiver for Lamar. 5'8", 177. Yes, he only has normal dev. 99 speed, 96 acceleration. Elite athlete. Great spec catch for being 5'8", and great catch in traffic for being 5'8", and great deep route and release for being 5'8". Crazy good. Only has normal dev, but I'm fine. It's fine. I think he's going to thrive in our slot position. In the 2nd round, I'm picking up middle linebacker Jeremy Humphrey out of Penn State. He was teammates with the receiver that we picked up in the 1st round as well. 88 speed is pretty good. Hidden development, 6'1", pass coverage archetype. In the 3rd round, I'm picking up left guard Chad Slate out of Georgia. 85 strength, 6'3", 309, hidden development, as our offensive line is now complete. Now this is the team after the draft. Durant is a 75 overall without the boost, so he seems like a great player. Crazy skills, dude. Crazy skills. Not much of a medium route or short route runner, but as long as he can get deep, and I'm not just talking about getting deep in your mom, he can go places, dude. Slate is a 75 overall. That's great. Crazy. Lance Searless out of Connecticut. Apparently a CPU picked up this guy. Not very athletic. Doesn't really have a huge arm. Not insanely accurate, but I guess he can throw on the run. 6'3", kind of big. Nice. Don't really need him, of course, but team is shaping up very, very nicely defensively. Mumphrey, not Humphrey, is what I said in the draft. I'm going to move Mumphrey to right outside linebacker, see if he can excel at that position and continue to have Denzel Perryman at the middle linebacker position, and Mumphrey is going to be the starter. And CPU picked up this guy named Mobley. Don't know who he is. Don't know how he got on the team. I mean, yeah, obviously the CPU picked him up. That's how he got on. Seems all right. Don't got a problem with him. Defense shapes up very nicely. Everyone's a star development or better. That's what I like to see. Still need a true middle linebacker now that Denzel Perryman is regressing. But the team, once again, is looking very, very good. And I may have to sign just a middle linebacker in free agency as depth, because I think that would just be better long-term. And Ramondre Stevenson is in free agency. I love Ramondre Stevenson. Malik Harrison, bridge player, future starter. Channing Tindall. Sure, I'll take you. Why not? And is there anyone else that I specifically need to be on this team? Cut one player. Who are we going to cut? Who are we going to cut? This guy, sure. Why is a 58 overall on my team in the first place? Anyways, let's look back into the roster. I need to make sure that Durant is in the slot. Not Kevin Durant, not Durantula, but Durant. Okay, Malone is... Dude, I need Durant in the slot, please. That's the only reason why I drafted him. Here we are at the midseason markers. We are 5-2 top of the division. The division is contested, though. Went from one of the worst divisions in the league to contested. Coming off a loss to the Rams. Channing Tindall. Not going to be bad depth, and this is dummy cheap. I'll do a 3-year deal. Fine with me. And what? Oh, this team needs to consider my future. Get the fuck off my team. What are you talking about? DJ Moore. Player-friendly deal. That's the best I can do. Okay, it looks like he's not playing. Taylor Moton. 3-year deal. I'll be better off with that. And we have no money left. Denzel Perryman. He's probably going to be cheap again, but he's going to be like a 75 overall by the end of the season. Brandon Smith, already got your replacement. Caden Mays, everyone else here. That's fine. And I'm going to make sure Mumphrey is starting at my right outside linebacker, because I did just remember that we did add that linebacker to the team. Mumphrey is not starting where he should be starting, and I don't want to refresh the roster or else it will... Ugh, that's so annoying. Just put my player where I tell them to be placed. It's that simple. Can I just cut this guy? Brian Long, I drafted him in the 2nd round. I don't want to cut him. That's so frustrating, dude. Whatever, Mumphrey. Anyways, it's now time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, 11-6 top the division, as everyone else went 11-6, coming off a loss to the Niners, but thankfully we still get to keep the top of the division. Here to face the 11-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stats and awards: Lamar did good, 5,000 yards, 6th best offense in the NFL, 5th best defense, 5,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, too many interceptions. Damian Harris, 18 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, 1,200 yards, and only 250 carries. That's a good season. Brett Durant, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Talk about a rookie season. 101 receptions for Tommy Tremble. DJ Moore, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Denzel Perryman, 95 tackles. Only that. Tackles for a loss, 15 for Brian Burns. Sacks, 17.5 from Brian Burns. That's what I expect from him. 12 for Derek Brown and 8.5 for Yatir Gross-Matos. Interceptions, 3 for J.C. Horn. Safeties, 1 for Derek Brown. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So... let's see what we got here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And who is their quarterback? I would like to know. It's probably Anthony Richardson, if I'm going to have to take a gander here. And I could kind of see that happening in real life, too. It is. Wow. I am a mastermind. Anyways, let's see if we can beat Anthony Richardson to move on to the divisional round. We already have a successful rebuild because we've already made the Super Bowl in year 1. Anthony Richardson didn't even get a touchdown on us. Here to face the 13-4 New York Giants. This is going to be a bigger challenge for us as we beat them 34-28. We've already won the conference championship before. I'm simulating. Can we beat the 11-6 division rivals? We do. Here in another Super Bowl, 2 years later, we return, but this time to face the Chiefs' biggest threat, the Cincinnati Bengals. And Lamar's biggest threat in his division, his previous division. Let's see what we got for the development upgrades. Durant goes from normal to superstar dev within a matter of a year. Crazy. Durantula, baby. He's on the path. He's already there. He's already an 80 overall with superstar dev. You guys call me crazy for trading back in the draft for this man. I'm always right. Remember that. Anyways, defensively, Mobley has superstar dev. The CPU is undefeated at drafting. And J.C. Horn gets superstar X Factor. team is doing crazy right now. Let's move in to the Super Bowl. Here we are in Atlanta to face the Cincinnati Bengals. 7-3 start now, 7-6. Come on, defense is holding strong. Offense, good stuff. 10-6. Got a weird score here, but still 17-6. Nice stuff. Ooh, 20-6 at halftime. Oh man, 23-6. This is getting humiliating. Yeah, 30-6. Humiliation. 37-6. 40-6. Humiliating. The Cincinnati Bengals. Easily a successful rebuild. We've already been to the Super Bowl and we've already won the Super Bowl. Let's look at the yearly awards. And Javon Holland wins the Super Bowl MVP. Anthony Richardson wins the league MVP. Okay. And Brett Durant wins the Rookie of the Year. So we've already looked at the upgrades. Let's move to the re-signings. In the NFC South, Darius Slay on the Saints, Bobby Wagner to the Falcons, Ryan Jensen and Levante David retire. Nobody on the Panthers retire because they know we can win this back-to-back. Let's go to the players ready to negotiate. And Channing Tindall, come on, dude. Not going to pay you any more than what this is. Yep, we're Super Bowl champions. You finally realize that. DJ Moore has lower interest now. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's give him very player-friendly. Increase this bonus, and he resigns because it's final year. We got to resign him. Denzel, you won a Super Bowl ring, man. You should have retired. You should have retired, but I'm not re-signing you. Sorry, you're 72 overall. And for the money that we have, how much do we got? $9 million. That's nothing. Let's move into the draft. At the end of the first round, I'm picking up Eddie Walsh, mainly because I saw that 91 speed, 91 acceleration. Looks like a crazy athlete, but only normal dev. That's fine with me, though. This is the team going into the fourth and final season. Honestly, really enjoyed this rebuild with Lamar Jackson. Had so much fun with it. Channing Tindall is our, I don't like that he's the starter. That's unfortunate. Looks like the CPU didn't do anything else with our picks because after the first round, I stopped picking. Defense looks great. Offense looks great. Let's get into the final season. Here we are in the playoffs once again, top of the division, 11-6. This time the Falcons are in the playoffs and not the Saints. I think the Falcons are in at 10-7, and they are at the 7th seed. Being 10-7 at the 7th seed seems kind of crazy. Here to face the 11-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers again. Anthony Richardson face off. Lamar Jackson did crazy. Let's see if that's an MVP. Anthony Richardson wins back-to-back league MVPs. Lamar 4th for MVP. Offensive yards is 5th, and defensively we were 2nd. Looking at it, Lamar Jackson almost 5,000 yards again, 40 touchdowns, 9 receptions, better season than last season in my opinion, way better season. And rushing yards, Damian Harris almost 1 yard shy from 1,100 yards, 4.3 per carry, 19 touchdowns. DJ Moore 12 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Brandon Ayuk 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, best season yet with us. Brett Durant exactly 1,000 yards, nice receptions, 8 touchdowns. And looking at it defensively, Cedric Gray, 121 tackles. Jeremy Mumphrey with 113 tackles for a loss, 17 for Brian Burns, 16.5 sacks for Brian Burns, 6 for Yetur Gross-Matos. Only 3.5 sacks for Derek Brown is kind of weird. 4 interceptions for J.C. Horn and Jeremy Chin. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So let's see if we can beat Anthony Richardson in the wild card as he is, as this is a copy and paste of the previous season. Let's see if we can actually beat him again. And we do. He wins league MVP, and we were both 11-6 in the previous season, and he won league MVP in the previous season. We still beat him, but we don't beat the Seahawks. 31-21, and that is going to end out this rebuild. I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team you'd like me to rebuild next. I'm probably going to do the Rams because Jalen Ramsey is probably going to be traded, and Bobby Wagner is already off the team. So a lot of ridiculous moves here, boys, but we're going to see who wins the Super Bowl in the fourth and final year. Wow. First ever shutout in history in the Super Bowl is 41-0. Chiefs humiliate the Seahawks. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP. Anthony Richardson wins the league MVP. And that is going to do it for this rebuild. We're going to see if there is any final development upgrades. Hope you guys all enjoyed this rebuild as it was a successful rebuild. We were 1-2 in the Super Bowls, but offensively we have no development upgrades, and defensively Jeremy Chin is a superstar. And it looks like that is about it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys all for watching. Again, let me know which team you'd like me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.